Hey, my scrappy friends. I have a scrapping it up with Megan and Hannah layout for you today. So this is a series where Megan and I are going to be using sketches and scrapping our style with the sketch. And I am had really fun. I am having really fun doing this series with Megan. Megan and I have become really good friends through SNL, and it's just really fun to be able to work with her again. And I love that both of our styles are a little bit different, but that we can do a sketch and kind of, do our own thing with it. So right now I am using some white paint with a silk screen. And I really wanted that white on white look, which is why I have a piece of white cardstock. And I'm just gonna fill in the spaces. I'm not looking for it to be perfect. And this is the thing that I found with the silk screens is that it works best with paint because anything thicker you really have to press really hard to get through the silk screen. Because it's not like a stencil in where it lets a lot of stuff in between. So now you can see that it's dry, and really with the silk screen the paint dries super quick. I mean, it pretty much was dry by the time I picked out the papers, and I'm for the most part using the papers from and some stuff from my click kits for this month. I haven't really used that much of it. I've only made like 3 or so layouts, so I really wanted to try to get another layout with it, and I really like this collection. It's really fun. I thought it might go well with this sketch and also with the theme of what my layout is about. I'm going to be using 4 photos just like the sketch, though I am not using round photos. I did keep them. You'll see. So at this point, I'm trying to decide if I want that strip to go over top or underneath. In the sketch, it shows a piece of paper, like that paper going from above and underneath that main section. Oh, I just hit my mic. And so I'm trying to decide if I like it best. And I think at this point I've decided, okay, I'm gonna stick it on top because I kind of like that bottom part of that striped paper with the circles and triangles is sticking underneath. I really like that paper. It's one of my favorites. It's just nice and fun. And one of the ladies from Click Kits, Renee, I don't remember what her last name is, she did a layout for the hop where she doodled, so she drew around the circles and the triangles, and then she took some of them from another sheet and she put them on top. And I was thinking about that a little bit when I'm doing this. So you're gonna watch me look through some of the printables that I printed this month for Click Hits, and I also had printed off some Studio Calico printables. One of them I think is from, I want to say, Wanderlust. There was another one, 2 in there. So you didn't see me pick out all this other stuff because it took me a while to go through. That's the only thing that I don't like about using my stash, or the stuff that I know I have in my stash, is that I have to go through and dig. It's kind of boring. At this point, I'm trying to decide if I want to use all the same size photo or different sizes. I'm going to be doing a video coming up probably tomorrow where I show how I print off a whole bunch of photos on like an 8.5 by 10 piece of paper, like printer paper for my printer, so how I collage it. And I did 2 different sizes because I wasn't sure which size I thought would work best for this. And I actually really like the the double size, like the two different sizes, like some bigger and some smaller. And some of it is some of the photos didn't come out as well in the rectangle because they were smushed a little bit more than the square. The way that I use PicMonkey, the square ones left more of the actual photo intact than when I edit. Like sometimes it edits, it makes it smaller when you put it in a different size. And I'm just gonna trim this down a little bit. I figured that it kind of needed a little bit of a matte, and I mean I could have went with like even a teal color that probably would have popped a little bit more, but I'm just gonna use my inker, and I'm using cracked pistachio, so it's like that minty aqua kind of color. So that kind of helps it stand out a little bit. I really like that. I should have just stuck that down there. So here I'm playing around because I knew that on the sketch there's a whole bunch of circles, and at this point I'm gonna step away from what the sketch says. And here you can see I started doing some stuff before I put the camera back on. I'm gonna use these Amy Tan, like they're almost like an acetate type of thick, well they're not thickers, but letter sticker. I really like them. They're nice and fun. I got them from the class that I took with her, the mini album, and I'm not going to use all of these on the mini album, so I thought, I'll use some of these. And I'm going to spell out, well, first I'm going to spell out Rainbow Park, and then I'm going to put and then I'm going to take the away because I didn't really like it. I don't know. I think it was the green color. I thought the green would look good because there's green circles in the paper, but then in the end I just didn't really care for the green. It was clashing. It was just too much. It was too much color for me, which is surprising because I love color. It was just too much. I mean, it looks okay, and maybe if I had moved everything over, but I didn't feel like it. So I want to use some of these because there is some stuff over on that side on the sketch. And that hooray is actually from Scraptastic. And I have this circle, and on the inside it says love. And this is going to be difficult for me. This is going to give me a hard time because I don't want the love to show because it's backwards, because I had die cut it out with my hand die cutter, but the other side had flowers on it and it was not gonna work with the Babers. So I'm using the pink side, which it matches the pinks down at the bottom. So I play around with these circles quite a bit. So at first I was like, oh, I'll stick the gold there, and then I'm like, well, maybe I'll use this darker blue, and I move it there, and then I move back because I don't really care for it. I'm still trying to find something to go where that love is. Ugh, it just really was difficult. I just really didn't want it to show. And instead of, being normal and taking it up, I don't know. This layout was interesting. Like, I'm still not sure how much I like. Like, I like it because I love the photos. These photos, oh my gosh. I took these photos the other day at the park, the Rainbow Park, as my kids call it. It's not really rainbow anymore, but it used to be when we first got here. It was different. This summer they redid it and they took everything out, but it used to have a rainbow, like different colored things over top of the parks. So here in the United States, the newer parks and a lot of places that have been have like those umbrella things to keep the sun off of, the slides and everything, which is a good idea. But they were all these random colors, so the kids called it the Rainbow Park. Well, now they're all the same, but they still call it the Rainbow Park. They love this park. But I took a whole bunch of photos of them while they were playing, just because I haven't really gotten too many photos of them playing at the park in a while, and I really wanted to try to get some nice shots of them. So, and I did edit them. I just edited them in, I think I pretty much use PicMonkey, but some of them I did use the Adobe on my phone. So I try not to edit it too much. I just pretty lightened it up in some places and stuff like that. Just use one of the lighter things on PicMonkey. I like the skinny jeans one. If you guys use PicMonkey, or not PicMonkey, PicTapaGo. That's the one that I was using. I do use PicMonkey too, though, to edit sometimes. If I'm going to do it on my computer and bring it over to PicMonkey for a collage, sometimes I'll do that. So here I'm trying to decide. I'm not sure how I feel about it. And I don't like that blue-green with the gold star. Even though I like it, I'm not feeling it. I don't know. I don't know why I don't care for this. Maybe because I didn't stick with the sketch. I didn't use the way the circles. I don't know. I just didn't feel like I was going to like it the way that the circles were on the sketch. But that's the good thing about sketches, is that you don't have to stick with them. You can, use it as a jumping off point and then just kind of go from there. I mean, when I first started using sketches, when I first started scrapping, I did use them by the book a lot more just because it was a little bit more helpful. But now that I kind of get a little bit more feel for what I like. So here I'm going to try these, and these are not going to stick on. They're cute there. I just didn't think the blue worked. It was just too different than some of the other stuff in there. So I'm going to stick with the camera, and I do like that. It's cute. And then I use some of the puffy stickers from Up in the Clouds collection from Pink Fresh Studio. Those two collections can be used together a little bit. I thought about using the black thickers that were part of the Pink Fresh Studio. Well, they're not really thickers. I'm going to add these. And this is kind of when I start thinking about that I don't like that green. And since I added those little hearts down at the bottom, there's more green. So I'm thinking maybe I can take that off. I'm going to take that off. I decide I don't care for that. And now I'm going to add some of these wood. I really like the wood in there. It really helps add just another texture, an element to the layout. And it kind of makes it fun because I switched out, I used some of the triangles. So here, I think I took the off after. And then I'm just going to do some black sprinkles in a minute. And then that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Don't forget to go check over at Megan's channel and see what she created. I will see you guys later. Bye!